Hi, I'm Jeremiah Owyang, General Partner at Blitzscaling Ventures. I'm also the host of the Llama Lounge AI Startup Event Series.
Wonderful. And I'm Marshall Kirkpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us, Jeremiah.
Yeah, man.
You see so many startups now. What kinds of problems for organizations are you seeing companies solve where security and AI intersect?
Many of the startups that we're seeing, they want to solve the friction that the everyday user, whether that be the knowledge worker or their consumers, how they interact on the web. And what they're trying to do is build tools that can basically replicate all the human tasks that we do. And so we don't have to, as humans, we can focus on higher order tasks. And this category of software right now, the hot category is called AI agents, where they replicate what humans do. The only way they can be effective is if they tap confidential data, exclusive or proprietary data. And that is something that they'll have to figure out how to do. And they're not doing it yet.
You mentioned today that there is a huge amount of data that still hasn't been accessed by the major models. Even though there's so much discussion about how omnivorous they've been, there's still so much that they haven't been able to learn from or access yet.
It's estimated that 80% of the world's data is behind a firewall, whether that be a personal cloud, corporate cloud, government cloud. GPT 3.5, which took the world by storm, only trained off around 1 terabyte of text-based data if it was compressed. It's a small amount of data. It wasn't even rich data, rich media that they grabbed information to train on. So there's still a vast amount of digital gold, which is the data that most companies are the ones that are in ownership of that. And they need to be careful, not just to hand that over to big tech. Don't just hand it over to big AI. They need to figure out how do they do that in a strategic way, which could be a partnership, it could be an API, or it might be a business relationship where they benefit from the upside. So this is what the deals that we're going to start seeing happening right now.
Wonderful. And what does success look like? What's made possible once the security and data privacy challenges are solved in AI?
The vision that I have for technology and the internet is that AI will be doing most of the tasks for humans. So we have more time to go to the beach, go to the park, spend time with colleagues to think about the higher order things that are important. But the only way they can do that is to be accessing confidential data. We will see a new form of store of data that has our certifications and it has our abilities and our credentials in order to access our key accounts, whether that be for an enterprise knowledge worker or for consumers. And those technologies haven't fully emerged yet. So we can imagine that agents will be logging into websites and conducting tasks for us. I also imagine that in the future that we only have one interface. We don't need multiple websites. We don't need multiple enterprise apps. There's just one interface where we talk to the AI agent, and then it spins up AI agents to go conduct those tasks for us. And we don't actually have to go and visit those sites.
Are you concerned about one interface for users being the only place they go to interact with the entire web? Does that raise concerns for you?
It depends if those interfaces are accessing multiple models. So we're seeing a number of AI application players that are model agnostic. So they're trying very hard not to be dependent upon Anthropic or just OpenAI, or not dependent upon one cloud service provider. So switching costs need to be low between the middle layer, the foundational model layer. That will be important for the consumer side. I think what's more important rather than just the interface is the business model. As long as the business model is for the user, and this would probably be a premium business model where the user pays to have access to these tools, we can assure that the data strategy is aligned towards the user behaviors. That's more important than the interface.
Wonderful. So this is not the first market that you have played a real important thought leadership and innovation enabling role in. You've been really strategic, for example, in the emergence of social media and social business. You would often come out with proprietary research and early blog posts and position statements whenever there was big news there. Now it seems in the AI market, you are bringing a different strategy focused on community building and organizing these big active events. Will you tell us a little bit about how you're thinking strategically about engaging with the AI market?
Right. So I used to be a Forrester industry analyst, and then I was a co-founder of another market research firm called Altimeter Group in Silicon Valley. And back then, there was high barriers to entry to write research reports. Today, it's a 5-word prompt. There's no barriers to writing thought pieces because of AI. So that's not a viable strategy going forward. What remains important in the age of AI is people. And so the community strategy is key. So I run a large event series called Llama Lounge. We've had 10 events. The last one was focused on enterprise AI, where hundreds, usually 300 to 400 AI founders assemble. There's demo slots, they pitch, usually 50 VCs attend, and enterprise AI buyers also show up as well. We had around 50 of them at the last event. So really trying to enable an entire ecosystem to come together. My main job as a VC is to find the top AI startups to invest in. And so this is a way for me to filter, seeing who's doing what in the market.
Wonderful. So you have said that you envision a future where most of the activity on the web, most of the visitors to websites are agents. I don't know if agents will be welcome at your event someday, but what does the world look like where security and AI come together in the distant future? And what do you think is especially important for companies in that space to keep in mind?
That's right. AI agents will be doing most of the tasks that we don't want to do, the laborious ones, the high friction ones, the things that you sigh about. I got to fill out another expense report. I got to fill out these HR forms. I got to manage the team's performance track record. I got to fill out a status report. All those things should be done by AI agents that act in our best interest, that know our past behavior, can access our confidential data, whether that be our emails or our credentials. And those systems aren't quite set up yet for the AI agents and that confidential data to come together. So that's going to be happening in the next year.